Well, hey there, how you doing? This is Randy, the mobile traveler. I think it's time we have a little discussion. Oh, all right. Somebody's at the door, so I guess we'll have to talk in a minute. Let's go check it out. Oh, hey, how we doing? Oh, you're here to talk about living on the road cheaply, huh? Yeah, come on in. Let's do that. Come on. Excuse the mess. Have a chair. All right. First things first, you guys want some coffee? All right. So you want to know how to live cheaply on the road. A lot of people ask me that question. I don't have one particular answer I can give you. I can give you some ideas, and that's what I'm going to do today. We'll give you a few ideas. Kind of break it down on necessities versus wants. Necessities and needs, of course, same thing. Then you got your wants and desires. The wants and desires is what's going to have to plummet. All right, let's get started. You need car insurance or RV insurance. I'll put on my spectacles so I could read what I wrote down. Did a little research on this. Your basic car insurance for full coverage is going to be costing you $75 to $120 a month. Now your minimum is going to be roughly $35 to $50 a month, depending upon what state you have insurance from. Your minimum is your basic liability. Well, RV insurance is similar, maybe a little cheaper in some states than others, but car insurance is a must. I think there's only 2 or maybe 3 states that does not require you to have it. All right, so let's move on to phones. I think everybody out there needs a cell phone, needs some way to get a hold of their loved ones or emergency services or something. Now I pay $60 and some odd cents a month. I have Straight Talk, which uses Verizon towers. You can get your cell phone plan can be anywhere from $25 a month upwards to $150 or more, depending upon whether how much internet you want and how many phones you have on your plan. Okay, now we're going to move on to gas, fuel for your rig. My gas, I can spend $75 and I can go 300 miles per tank. That's where the wants and desires should not outweigh the needs. What you can do is you can travel minimal distance. BLM to BLM says 25 miles as the crow flies. So you could go from 1 BLM, which you stayed at for 2 weeks, drive 25 miles, in between get your necessities, and you can go stay another 2 weeks. Well, 2 and 2 is 4, that's approximately a month. And you've only traveled 25, say maybe 50 miles at the most. Gas should be a minimum. That's one way where you can save money. Now, if you have a small vehicle that don't take a lot of gas, you're ahead of the game. All right, now let's get down to some necessities. Well, some of the necessities, you got food. Food is a big, big necessity. Everybody's got to eat, right? Well, how extravagant is your taste? Do you have to have steak every night? Or can you get by with some hamburger? You know what my dad used to say is, you cannot live on a steak diet if you only have a hamburger budget. Or I guess it was a beer budget and wine taste. I don't know. Anyway, um, now there's also programs out there for people. You've got your state-run programs, your EBT, or better known as food stamps for low income. Utilize that. Food banks, different towns, you can utilize that. And it'll cut down your food expenses. Well, let's talk about medical payments. Your medical insurance. Me being on disability, I have Medicare, so I pay $130 some a month for that insurance. Now, I know that if you're low income, they have what they call, I believe it's called a QMB program. Qualified Medical Benefits is what it stands for. And if you're low income, the state will assist you with that payment. Pharmaceuticals are a big thing, you know, out here when you're living out here. If you're elderly or disabled. And if you're down in this area, you can always go to Mexico. Cheaper prices. You need dental work done? Mexico. Cheaper prices. You have to use that. Utilize whatever program or what other options are open to you. All right, let's talk about some miscellaneous stuff. We're going to talk about like admission fees to state parks, to museums, to things like that. Movies. You got to have some fun. You can't just sit in your rig, look at a campfire, and say, woohoo. You got to have some fun. You want to be able to see things. So pay yourself first. Take 10% of your income. Put it back. Use that for your fun stuff. Maybe you want to eat out every now and then. Do it. Just budget it in. Like I say, pay yourself first. Take 10%. Across the board. I mean, yeah, I know that's not a lot. If you're bringing in $500 a month, that's $50 though. That's quite a bit of money for miscellaneous. And then I would say at least 10% for an emergency fund, just in case something happens. You need tires. Take it, you know, save the money. I know it's hard sometimes, and you just can't. I've been in that boat. You just can't save the money. It's got to go somewhere else. And then, well, let's talk about propane. Laundry. You know, propane you need to cook usually. You need it to heat. Propane is inexpensive. You can get 20 pounds for, you know, $3 a pound. Or a gallon, excuse me. 20 pounds, it holds about 5 gallons. It's going to cost you about $10 to fill up that tank. I go through 2.5 tanks a month. So what am I spending? $25, $30 a month for propane? And that's for heat. That's for cooking. That's for keeping my fridge going. Propane is not expensive. And you can always cook on an open fire. If you have wood around, start a fire. Sitting outside, start a fire if it's legal to start one. Wood does cost money though. About as much as propane does. Okay, we're going to kind of jump around here a little bit, so just bear with me. And of course you have your basic needs. You know, you've got your laundry soap, you got your quarters to do laundry. Because you don't always have a river around. You can hit a rock. Well, if you had to, you could do it. And then you got your cleaning soap. You have your shampoos, your toothpaste, things like that. What I do is I budget that into my food cost because you can get everything in a grocery store. I just went through kind of some basic needs here. Of course, I'm not going to tell you what I spend. I'm not going to break it down that far because you can't. And like I said, not everybody is the same. But what I do know is that if you come out here, you don't travel that much, stay on government land so you're not paying for parks, go to a national park, very minimal fee, learn to boondock, learn to get by with what you have. Remember, if you got a hamburger budget, you ain't going to go buy a T-bone. And you know, mindset. Get in a mindset. Say, I only have this much to live on. I'm going to make it happen. Sometimes that don't work, but a lot of times it does. Maybe in another video, I will actually keep receipts to where I can actually show you my figures. But not everybody makes exactly what I make, do they? Not everybody does exactly what I do. You know what? I hope this helps people. Let's recap. Government programs to assist you with medical, to assist you with food. Make sure you have insurance on your rigs. Make sure you have your basic needs covered. That's the important thing. Basic needs. Food, water, shelter, safety. Okay, hey, thanks for joining me. You guys travel on and drive safe. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye now.